Welcome to Deep Tech Marketing Interviews. My name's Oli Huggins. I'm VP of Partnerships at Packt. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking with Hannu Ranta, who's the Principal Enterprise Architect at Qlik and has recently published his book, Machine Learning with Qlik Sense. Hi, Hannu. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's really lovely to meet you.
Hello, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Just to give our audience context, I was wondering if you could share us a little bit of your journey. What led you to your current role working at Qlik? It sounds like you've had quite an interesting career so far.
Yeah, so I'm originally from a quite small town from the southern part of Finland called Tammela.
Yeah.
And after college, I moved from there to study in Tampere, which is a little bit bigger city in a central part of Finland, and started studying in Tampere University of Technology back in 2009. And then I graduated from there as a Master of Science in Technology in 2015. And during my studies, I did quite a few software development jobs, and maybe realized that that kind of pure like coding or software development career is not what I want to pursue in a future. So then after I graduated in 2015, I moved to Helsinki and started working at Microsoft. There was a newly founded team that focused around the Internet of Things and big data. It was like a European-wide team where I joined, and the next 2 years went all around the Europe mainly and all around the world, traveling and visiting some of the world's largest corporations and thinking about how they can move forward with their Internet of Things and data plans. And it was during that time when I got to really interested about the data visualization and also the big data and possibilities of the different data solutions and what the data can bring for the industry. And from there I got then recruited to Qlik, and I started there as a solution architect in the Nordics team. Spent there 4 years in my first journey. Then I was 2 years leading the consulting operations for one of the Qlik partners. And then around 2 years ago, there was this principal enterprise architect position open at Qlik, where I then decided to apply and got selected. And so now I'm responsible for Nordics, Baltics, and Benelux as an enterprise architect, mainly doing the pre-sales job, which is sort of the position where I have ended up really liking, because it combines the best parts of selling and also giving the idea for the customer, sort of like a management consulting, but more of like getting them to realize where they would like to be in a future and giving them sort of like dreams where their industry and their data platform and operations might be in a future.
Okay. Yeah. So the pre-sales area, that kind of topic really grabbed you. Do you want to unpack a little bit more? Because you started talking about helping people to realize their dreams and their visions. Unpack a little bit for me what's involved in that kind of pre-sales process and what it is about it that you love.
Yeah, so basically we are a product company, but once we are engaged into the sales cycle as a pre-sales, I feel that my goal is to help the customer to realize what is possible with their current data and with some state-of-the-art platform and technology stack, and then give them this edge also over the competition to drive their business with the data. And when this then realizes into the actual business results, and I can hear back from those customers years later that this is actually a perfect solution that you offered, and we have now it implemented and fully working for some time already. That's what really makes me happy. So it's like getting the value realized, and that way helping the customers, not only purely selling products, but that's like
you like solving problems, solving big chunky problems, and helping people realize their visions. That's I can see why that would be incredibly energizing. And I'm guessing that that's influenced your decision to, as other people might be aware, write your first book. Is this your first book?
Yes, it's my first book.
Machine Learning with Qlik Sense. So you're working at Qlik, you're working a lot in the space of doing pre-sales for people, helping to sell in machine learning solutions. Talk to me a little bit about your journey that led you to want to write this book?
Yeah, so writing a book has been, of course, one of my career goals already. But when this opportunity emerged, it came a little bit maybe sudden, but I decided to grab it immediately because I feel that the Qlik community has a lot of talent, but there hasn't been many books or this kind of products out for the Qlik products lately. So that's also one of my goals to sort of like empower the community and also trying to give an example of how to make like a knowable this talent and all the skills that there is part of the community, make it more visible. So yeah.
Okay, talk to me a little bit about. So I'm going to dig into some different details about why specifically the subject matter, but you spoke a lot about how a book would benefit the community.
Yeah.
Can you just unpack that a little bit in terms of what you think the power of a book is and how that's helping to benefit and create advantages for the specific Qlik community?
Yeah, so Qlik is nowadays one of the world leading companies also in the AI and machine learning. And but I think that is sort of like an area where we are not that known for. So most of the people think us still purely as a data analytics company, even though we have the integration part and we have now the really, really powerful offering also for the AI and machine learning. And just to get to the community and our customers and partners to recognize the power of these tools and this platform and offering is one of the goals. And also giving like an easy sort of like one size package how to get started with this machine learning part, because there is a lot of content available, but most of it is sort of like scattered all around the internet. There are like small blog posts or videos or training series. So the aim for this book is to collect all of this information into one package, which you can read through and you have an idea what is possible, what is the theory behind of these models, and how then to utilize these technologies as your day-to-day work, or how to get benefit from this offering.
So I think when I look at Qlik, you've got some pretty sophisticated documentation and great tutorials available on your core website. How do you see the book as adding additional value over and beyond that educational content that's already provided by your team?
So I tried to include a lot of like industry knowledge and these little tips and tricks which you won't find from the official documentation. And it's also it's made in a form of sort of like a journey. So it starts from this background information that you need to understand at least at some level. You don't have to have like a PhD in mathematics or statistics to understand those concepts, but at least to know what the different models and algorithms mean and what is the idea behind those. And then we are starting to move to actually utilize these models in the book. So it's sort of like a journey from this theory into the actual practical examples, and also how to tie this all together with the company data strategies and part of this bigger picture. So the documentation, of course, in the help pages is really good, but it's sort of like more feature and function oriented, and maybe not giving this big picture.
And you want to basically educate people around the context. And you spoke a lot about industry best practices as well. So specifically how it's applied in different domains.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What outcomes did you anticipate for people who would read the specific book? So what was your ideal outcome for the person that picks this up, reads it end to end? What were you hoping for them?
I would like to at least believe that they will get this like a courage to start examining things further, and they have this knowledge to create their project, start to dig more deeper into this AI and machine learning world with the Qlik tools, and then grow from there and doing maybe their first project with the actual data, either their own or the customer data, and then that way learn how to actually bring these concepts and theories into action and practice. So that's what I hope at least.
Okay. Well, I guess a lot of the work you're doing at the moment is working in that pre-sales space. Did you ever envision the book playing a role in your pre-sales activity?
Yeah, of course, it gives me also personal credibility. It's not that I can say that I've written a book in this, so it's also really good conversation starter in the current meetings that I have. But also since I feel the pre-sales role to be sort of like a counselor or educator among our customers and partners, so I feel that this fits perfectly into that concept. So I can also share the knowledge that I have via the book. So
yeah, why do you think that makes such a big difference in terms of having written a book to qualify your expertise and credibility? Can you unpack that a bit?
So I think since you really need to commit also in terms to produce or write a book, and during the writing process also you need to maybe sort of like formalize your own ideas into this actual chapter structure, and that way at least I think that I'm now approaching this topic maybe a little bit differently than before. So I have more of like organized approach if I'm, for example, creating the proof of concepts or demos for the customer, and I'm more like prepared to explain these concepts and open them up. And since I had to think a lot of these things when I went through the structure of the book, especially when I started to write.
That's super interesting. So I guess one of the key advantages of that book writing process is you yourself develop personally new skills and capabilities that you didn't have before.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
okay.
what
Do you want to unpack a little bit more around what other skills and capabilities did you find that you were able to grow in and learn during that process?
First of all, what I found really interesting was to work with this team of highly talented people from the Packt side who helped me to go through the editorial process and also think about the layout and graphics and all of these little things that I maybe haven't been aware that this kind of writing process has. But then also, as I said, like thinking how I would like to sort of like build the journey that is told in the chapters. I think that was my key learning point, that I got the idea that maybe this is a good approach, and now I have got a lot of feedback also from the people who have read the book that it was easy to follow. So
that's wonderful news. What would you say the hardest thing about writing a book is from your perspective? What were the biggest challenges you faced?
So for me, it was definitely the beginning, because it felt this
starting
this massive project, like how to approach it, how to get started. But once I got the first chapter draft out, then it all sort of like cleared out, and I had a feeling that I can definitely do this. And of course, also since I was working full time on a side and then writing during the evenings and weekends, finding the time sometimes was a little bit hard. And
How did you manage to stay motivated during the process? So as somebody that understands publishing, I know how hard it is to write a book. So talk to me a little bit about how you stay motivated through that process.
I think after the first draft was out and I got the initial feedback from the editors, and it was really positive. There was like some things that needed a little bit tweaking. That helped a lot. And then I was also, of course, really interested, and I'm still really enthusiastic about this AI and ML world. So that helped, because I really wanted to give sort of like the wordings for these phenomena behind also our Qlik tools. So it was these things that were driving me forward during the writing process, and of course also I got great support from my girlfriend and friends. So
that's always very helpful.
Yes.
Did you get help from the broader team at Qlik? How did they help kind of support you in this process? Did they know about it? I'm interested to understand that kind of process.
Yeah, of course, I discussed it with my team and also exchanged some of the ideas, and then they helped me a little bit about some of the technical qualifications, but mainly I tried to keep it out from the working time. Yeah.
What are your kind of your ideal objectives now? Your book is published; it's selling incredibly well. What are your hopes in terms of where this goes?
I'm really happy about how the book has been taken by the community and the market, and I'm maybe now, since the first one is published, I'm really looking forward to create maybe some other content at some point. I've been thinking of maybe some sort of like video training series or another book. So maybe that's the future goal. And then of course, since this AI and ML area is developing so rapidly, I feel that there is always need for new content, and also the need for bringing this in an easy format for our ecosystem and community, so that they can get the ideas and then implement parts of those into their daily work, and in a way that they don't need to be like following all of the latest industry trends that closely, so that I can maybe do parts of that for them, and then sort of like provide this information already sort of like processed and
distilled. Really
exactly.
think through what the implications are, rather than having them to do the hard work of reading everything and take a decision and take a view. So in terms of next steps from your perspective, what kind of areas are you thinking about writing about, publishing, creating video courses for next?
Do you mean like where I'm going to focus personally next, or?
Generally,
So now this sort of like natural language based AI is in a so big focus in a industry wide, and also for us at Qlik. So I think I'm creating something around that, but I haven't fully talked yet what that content might be. But I promise something is coming at some point, hopefully later this year.
Okay, that makes sense. A lot of the audiences that tend to watch these videos tend to be people working as DevRel execs or people working in marketing. And I guess within the broader marketing funnel, you're situated somewhere in the middle in terms of the pre-sales. We're helping organizations work out how they can get the most out of Qlik software and services. What advice would you give those individuals working in different aspects of that marketing funnel that you've learned as a part of this process?
So my advice would be that now it's a really good time to sort of like seize the moment in this AI hype and actually bring everything that we have to a wider audience. Because what I have felt in the field when I have been talking about the different companies is that all of the companies are at some level interested to utilize these technologies, but some of them are maybe a little bit lost and they don't know where to start and how to actually start the implementation and how to start to get the benefits. So I think that is something that should be cleared a little bit in like the overall industry point of view, and also from our point of view, to help them to get started and help them to realize the full value of these technologies and what they can get out from these new AI and ML technologies.
Sure. So you see the big opportunity, the big gap in the market being around organizations see this huge trend towards AI, natural language tools, but they don't know where to begin. They don't know where to start. What's your recommendation in terms of what's the best approach to start tackling that specific problem? Is it content? Obviously, you've created this book that goes some way to address those issues. What's your view in terms of how to solve and bridge a gap across that issue?
I would say that like bringing in this sort of like practical content, because the concept of AI and ML is so huge and so abstract that it's really hard to dig into it if you just focus into entire area. But if you take some parts of it that might help different industry areas and then formalize that into form of some content that is easy to follow and utilizes like already familiar data sets, maybe some general data like what is publicly available, and then bring actual results and actual business results, because that is what is important for our customers also. They want to get something out from the technology. They don't just want
they
to
just want to
play with it. So I think that's the key part.
Do you have any good examples from your title that you think best represent providing opportunities for organizations to practically apply the machine learning tools and services available?
So for example, we have been now talking a lot about these natural language models, but what I see as the biggest actual innovation behind those is the way that we have now shifted to utilize, for example, our analytics tools. So we have this technology called Insight Advisor that basically allows you to generate graphs out from your data using a formal or written sentences, and you don't need to click around and start building those. That technology has been actually around the Qlik products in few years already, so it's not that new, but now, since it's also based on natural language generation, it has gained a new focus and new hype. So, but that is a perfect example of how this technology can help the analyst on their day-to-day job and bring value, because you can basically generate a really complex graph with just typing a sentence, what you want to be visualized and how, instead of actually dragging and dropping and hard coding all of the features behind the graph. That was the sort of like the old world.
That's an interesting observation you made, in so much as that as a feature has been around on Qlik for a while, but it's only recently now that it's beginning to trend and take off. What do you think the catalyst has been that's encouraged that feature to be more widely adopted and welcomed?
I think it's since this NLT and OpenAI and all of those technologies are now so well known because of the OpenAI product that launched last spring. And this kind of like interaction towards the computers and different softwares got huge popularity because of that OpenAI model getting publicly available, and people realized that this is also a possibility to integrate towards these softwares. And then, since we already had this technology, it got a lot of focus because it's exactly what this is about in the UI perspective.
So I think your argument would be OpenAI making LLMs a lot more mainstream. In terms of their huge and wide adoption, suddenly meant that everybody was looking out for what other applications you could have of large language models and natural language processing across the board. Okay. What advice would you give other marketeers and DevRel execs at the moment in order to leverage the most from this hype around large language models and GPT and OpenAI?
I would say that it's really important to also focus into these features, but as I said earlier, focus into this value that these features can bring to our customers and partners and all the organizations that are using these tools, because the features and functions are not that important. It's the value that you can bring for the actual users that is the key element of the success. So I would say that
focus on the use case, focus specifically on what they're trying to achieve, and let that inform your content strategy. That's good advice. If you have any insight and recommendations for anybody else looking to author a book or create a course, what would your advice be?
I would say that think through the structure carefully, because once you have that in your mind, it's easier to also brief it towards the publishers, and also think what you can bring for the consumer of your content, because you always have to remember that it's someone else who is reading it or watching it or consuming it, and they want to get something out from the time that they are investing into your content. So that was what I was trying to keep in my mind when I was writing, that I tried to keep it clear and concise and all the time focused into the content. So I think.
Do you think there's a temptation when you're writing a book or creating a video that you're trying to create something for yourself and not for your intended user?
Yeah, I have seen some of the examples, maybe to us that. So yeah.
Okay. Hannu, it's been really lovely talking to you. Thank you for sharing everything about your process of writing the book. You can get machine learning with Qlik Sense. It's available on Amazon now. I highly recommend people pick it up. And best of luck for future marketing, and best of luck for future projects that you're involved in as well. Thank you, Hannu.
Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure too.
Thank you.